Mr. Speaker.
Delegate from Prince William, Delegate Mundon King.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for a point of personal privilege.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is so important to give honor where honor is due. And today I stand to honor one of the finest pastors to ever grace Prince William County. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, nearly 30 years ago, Prince William County was blessed to welcome a young preacher on fire for God with a high top fade. This young pastor had a vision for a church that would share the light of Jesus Christ with the world and reach those in need. Along with his phenomenal wife, Mr. Speaker, who happens to be in the gallery today, and his lovely daughter, he grew this ministry from a few hundred members to over 4,000. You all may know him as Mr. Chairman, but for those of us in Prince William County, he will always be Pastor Torian. On December 31st, Pastor Torian retired after over 28 years of leadership at the historic First Mount Zion Baptist Church of Dumfries. Under his leadership, First Mount Zion grew into a powerhouse of ministries and the embodiment of the Great Commission. While the church grew into more than 70 ministries that operate in a multi-million-dollar facility and has a huge impact in the community, his impact in the community has been even larger. He has been there to comfort us during difficult times, to inspire us during seasons of hope, and to never let us forget the redeeming qualities of Jesus Christ. Now, I've done a little math. Over the course of his tenure, the church has fed over 500,000 meals to those in the community. He has preached over 7,500 good sermons. And he continues to touch countless lives through his leadership. And Mr. Speaker, when I was a young mother, my husband and I were looking for a quality Christian education for a young boy who just could not sit still in the classroom. Pastor Torian welcomed him into First Mount Zion's Proverbs place. And that young boy who couldn't sit still is a straight A student, and his life was changed through his growing knowledge of Jesus Christ and the education he received. Because Pastor Torian, even though I was not a member of First Mount Zion, made a way for my family as he's done for others. So as he retires, I pray that he will have more than 500,000 hours on the golf course. And that he will have more than 500,000 hours of time with his beautiful family. But I just want to say, we know that you're still moving we know, Mr. Speaker, that he's still moving 1,000 miles a minute. But we're so grateful for his leadership. And I would like to yield, Mr. Speaker, to an actual member of First Mount Zion, Delegate Sewell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't think that there's much more that can be said, but I simply will add that while each of us, each day, as we serve in the General Assembly, we may have an angel on one side of our shoulder and a devil on the other side, I have the great fortune of having my pastor sitting right behind me, so I don't fall in that category. But on a serious note, I cannot look at him because this is very personal to me, as Pastor Torian is my spiritual guider. And can't do this. I am not one to get emotional, so that's why I got to look at you, Mr. Speaker. We're going to continue this conversation. But that is the gentleman who baptized me when I chose to profess my love for the Lord and to make my relationship personal. That is the person who, when my dad fell sick and was at Walter Reed Hospital, showed up in his cowboy boots and a leather jacket and provided an unexpected and pleasant visit, and prayed over my father, prayed over me, prayed over my mother, and the rest of our family, and gave us hope. And as we each go home each weekend to grab clothes, to visit with our constituents, Pastor Torian took the time to go pray over other families. He took the time to deliver sermons and to provide those messages of hope. And for the past few years, our church has grown, but we have also dealt with a great deal of death, and we have dealt with a great deal of sickness. And he carries those stories with him every single day. And he put on a happy face, and he would do the work of the General Assembly while knowing that he had a community that was so heavily reliant upon him. First Mount Zion is a historic landmark in Prince William County, Mr. Speaker. And much of that is a result of Pastor Torian. He took us from the little church on the hill to the place where so many in Prince William County and those who drive through it call home, and deem it as a place where they know that they can find resources in those days and times of need. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for affording me this opportunity to talk about my pastor, my forever spiritual guider. And I thank you for this moment, and we thank him for his service to Prince William County and the rest of the Commonwealth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The clerk will call the calendar.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Uh-oh. The delegate from Prince William, Delegate Torian.
I rise for a brief moment of personal privilege.
The delegate has the floor.
I simply rise. I simply rise to say thank you. And to say thank God for the opportunity and the privilege to serve, to have served First Mount Zion. It's truly been an awesome privilege. Now to be able to serve in this body means so very, very much. And to these lovely ladies, I humbly say thank you so much for your kindness. Thank you all. God bless you. Thank you.